I know. I don't want to do this. But here we are. iPhone 16 rumors, they are here. Oh, I'm sorry, what's that? Your iPhone 15 Pro is overheating. No one cares, we've moved on. Party's over, Grandpa.
Party's over, Grandpa.
This is supposedly the iPhone 16 Ultra, shared by the Majin Buu Twitter account, or X account. You shut up. I don't want to hear it. And he claims Apple is going to be adding an additional 3 cameras on the back next year, specifically for the Ultra model only. Why? I guess Apple Vision Pro? Something like this would just do much better in a spatial environment for spatial video, that sort of thing. Other than that, we aren't seeing too much information on these little guys, but this design is that of nightmares. Nobody should ever make a phone that looks like that. Too many cameras, insanity. What are we? Barbarians? Every year we get new iPhones, and every year a new chip inside of those iPhones. Like clockwork, and for a long time, Apple has followed a very specific pattern. New Pro-level iPhone gets the new, faster, bigger number chip. A15, A16, you know. And the base model iPhone of that generation gets the hand-me-down chip from the Pro before it. Make sense? Good. Apparently, next year with iPhone 16, things are gonna be shaken up a bit. In a research note obtained by Mac Rumors from everyone's favorite Haitong International Securities analyst, Jeff Poo, we've learned that Apple intends for the entirety of the iPhone 16 lineup to be equipped with the A18 branded chips. You can go ahead and stop me if you saw this one coming. This is what Mr. Poo expects on iPhone 16, the A18 chip. On the iPhone 16 Plus, the A18 chip. And then of course on the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, both get the A18 Pro chip. But does that mean the Ultra? Does that mean the Ultra is gonna get an A18 Ultra chip? Of course, there's more than just a name change at play. Like, these new chips are actually manufactured differently at the place where chips are born. The chip place. These new A18 chips are part of the next generation of the 3nm manufacturing process. Yada yada, big tech, nerd talk, okay. And I gotta say, if this is what they end up doing, yeah, I like that. I like this new way of organizing and naming the chips, especially since they're becoming more and more different on the iPhone. It feels way more in line with how Apple has been naming the chips in Mac, ever since the change to when they made that change. You know, M2, M2 Pro, M2 Max, you get it. It's just a bit more satisfying to my neurodivergent self, I guess. Oh ho ho, and the cleverest of you out there in the Toilet Squad may have noticed that Apple has already started to set this up. They've already started to plant the seeds of this change. If we look back for a second at the announcement of the iPhone 15 Pro, we can see that all of a sudden, the new chip in the 15 Pro is named the A17 Pro. And I don't know if you remember this because the iPhone 15 Pro event was like so long ago now, right? But they killed the mute switch. The mute switch, the toggle thing that has been around since the first iPhone ever in the history of everness, yeah, gone in favor of a cute little action button. It doesn't do this. I don't know why I did this with my fingers. The brand new action button on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max clearly tells us that Apple is getting ready and setting us up for something new. And we're gonna talk about that something new because it's cool and exciting, but we're gonna talk about it after I pay for Chipotle and cat food. Today's episode is sponsored by the VITURE One iPhone Pack, the absolute cutting-edge mixed reality experience tailor-made for the iPhone. Oh man. VITURE One boasts some super neat features like a pixel-free 120-inch 1080p immersive virtual screen in your face! With VITURE One, you can experience exclusive features like a multi-screen workstation and even 360-degree VR video through their SpaceWalker app, all from your pocket-sized iPhone 15. Imagine opening 3 floating screens, browsing social media, checking emails, and watching your favorite shows on Netflix at the same time. And if you have an iPhone 14 or any other older model, don't worry. They also provide an adapter so you can enjoy the same mixed reality experience as the iPhone 15. VITURE One is also very inclusive with everything from adjustable dials for each lens to help nearsighted users, color-changing film that could switch opacity of the lens, and stunning audio experiences with full privacy thanks to their partnership with Harman. You can even take advantage of VITURE One's 3 degrees of freedom feature, where with 3 simple button presses, your screen will float in a fixed position if you need to move around or pay attention elsewhere. So get out there and experience VITURE One through the iPhone pack today and get 10% off of your order with our code FPT. And of course, a huge thanks to VITURE for sponsoring this video. All right, boys, welcome back. Have a seat. It's time to put on your tinfoil hats, get your grains of salt, and put on your iPhone theory underwear. I don't know what you got. Either way, put it on, let's go. In another report published by Mac Rumors, Apple is supposedly working on something codenamed Project Nova, a new additional capacitive button expected to debut on iPhone 16. Yeah, no, I don't just mean on the Pro models like this year. I mean like the whole lineup. This new button, currently dubbed the Capture button, is going to be located on the same side of the iPhone 16 as the Power button. Pretty much smack dab where the millimeter wave cutout is found currently. To which you might say, hey, you can't just move that. Well, yes, they can, because if we get that new Capture button, the millimeter wave window cutout thing would be moving over to the side of the Action button and Volume buttons. Getting a little bit crowded over there, huh? And this report has zero idea, I guess, what this button could possibly be used for. They even say that. It's currently unknown what the new capacitive button will be used for. If it's internally referred to as the Capture button, like what? What's the mystery? Listen, this is really, really early information. Let's be fair here. So early, in fact, that there's a good chance that this Capture button, this mysterious what could it possibly be used Capture button, won't even make it out of Apple's initial testing phase. I am here to give you the news, but I'm also here to protect you and your little sensitive nerd heart. And so I'm telling you, we're talking about this early. Yes, there's a chance this happens, but also yes, probably bigger chance it doesn't happen. Do you remember when we got burned last year, kids? Do you remember Project Bongo? Project Bongo, early leak for iPhone 15 Pro that said we weren't gonna have real volume buttons. Nope, these were gonna be capacitive buttons on the side of the phone, and that did not happen. This so-called Capture button could easily, very easily become what that became. And by that, I mean it just didn't. It did not become. And I don't want to say that I hate the idea of a Capture button, because I don't. It just seems like things are becoming a lot. So the execution on this better be perfect, or else it's going to remind me of something else. Do you remember that thing that Pixel phones had for a while? The squeeze thing. You remember? It was called Active Edge, and you could literally just squeeze the phone to get it to perform certain actions. I hated that so much, and I will never allow that devil back into my life. No, Mr. Devil, you silly little boy, you stay over there and you be quiet. Going back to the report on this very normal tech news show, we also get a bit of information on something called Project Atlas. This would be the change to making the new Action button capacitive, which frankly, fine, I'm cool with that. I am ready to accept the Action nipple into my heart for what it is, for what it be, and I shall flick it as... Okay. Oh, what's that? You thought we were done? Nah. We also got some information about changes to the base model iPhone 16's camera bump. Supposedly, we're going back to a vertical system like back on iPhone 12, and an increase to iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max screen sizes from 6.1 and 6.7 to a whopping 6.3 and 6.9. I realize that I have thrown a lot at you about a phone that is a year away, probably right after you just purchased the new one. I get that. So, let's just have fun, let's realize what this is and appreciate it for what it is. It is just super early information from credible sources, so we gotta at least give it that, but it is still just kinda that, just kinda early information. All of these things could change by the next episode of Fopota, so, just temper your expectations. My lovely Toilet Squad, prepare yourselves. For the era of iPhone 16 leaks and rumors has begun! We shall weather this storm as we always have. Hold, brothers and sisters, and everyone else who would like to be referred to as neither. We are inclusive. We are strong! Oh.